Hockey puck?
What? It's probably the Wi-Fi. I'll turn mine on and see.
No, we went out in the spring. It was
You ready, darling?
March, I think. Sometime in March we drove. We left on a Sunday morning. We got back.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We just drove around. But the roads were beautiful.
Yes?
The worst roads were.
Oh, okay. All right, good evening, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order. If everyone could stand, we'll recite the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. What was that? Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Mr. Schiffer can't make it tonight. There's some family issue going on. I guess I'll start off. We're members of Rural Water. I had Dale check. So June 17th, you're going to start leak detection throughout the town. And that doesn't cost us anything. So hopefully we can find whatever leaks are, if there are any left. If you guys haven't noticed yet, Job Corps out there scraping, and as soon as we get some nice weather, they'll be painting the building. I asked the guys showed me the garage doors are rusted through. So I asked Dale today to get some estimates to replace all the garage doors. We've got that ARPA funds we've got to dedicate before the end of the year. We'll get some estimates for those. Millville Cemetery. Now here's a question to you guys. We've got 2 flagpoles at the front of the cemetery. They're both completely rusted out. And there's no flags on them, there's no ropes on them. Do we want to replace those? Nobody knows who's responsible for the flags. We put flags up on Mount Pleasant, but we don't have any flags up on Millville. So.
What flags other than the
U.S. flag?
Yeah, but why 2 U.S. flags at the same place? Or
No, there's 2 flagpoles there, but they're not being used. There's no halyards on them.
One.
Yeah.
We need to replace one.
Either we can have the guys look at them and see if they're still salvageable, put new ropes on them. That would just come out of, I guess, the cemetery maintenance fund. Cost of a rope and a flag, maybe painting the pole if it's not good, or just.
They anchored in concrete, are they?
I don't know. I know they've got 3 bolts on them, so they can be turned over. I guess we can have the guys check it out and find out what's going on.
Well, I think that just for the people that are there and the veterans that are there, we should have a flag there.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I went and I checked the cemeteries and on the holiday, and that one was Mount Pleasant was good, and I got to Millville and saw the flags running up, and I called Dale. I go, hey, there's no flags up. He goes, well, go to Ace and buy some flags. We get an account. So I went to Ace, bought the flags, went back over there. No halyards, so I couldn't raise the flag. So okay, we got to fix this. This isn't good. So we'll get on that. Millville.
Now, who's going to be checking these poles out?
Well, our guys are responsible for it. So.
You want me to talk to Dale on that?
Yes, please. If we have to put a new pole in the ground, whatever.
Okay.
I mean, and if we do have to do that, maybe we should check on one of those telescoping poles, so it's easier to replace.
Get a price on something like that?
Yeah. The poles didn't look bad. They just, I think they need to be painted. Probably need a new pulley up top. Okay, last week, 2 weeks, what?
I'm sorry, is that part of like a spring cleanup that you do, that they would drive around and check that?
What do you mean?
Like putting up poles, or I'm sorry, putting up the flags, is that something they normally,
Yeah, whenever it's needed, they change the flags out.
and are there lights there, or do you have to take them down and put them up every?
No, there's
There's a light there?
that's the other thing, you'd have to check to see if there's a light. So,
Because you can't leave a flag up at night, right?
Yeah.
With no light? Okay.
and as long as there's a street light lighting it, some type of light lighting it, yeah.
Okay.
So they're not up in the winter time though, I mean, are they up during the
You know,
winter?
I've
That's
never
what I
noticed.
wondered.
Mine's up all winter.
I would think
It
it would
is?
be because the national cemeteries are up all winter, the one right
I
down.
change them whenever they get ratted out. I change the flags. So I mean,
And you don't have to take them down in the rain as long as there's a light on them?
Yeah, as long as the light, they can stay up 24 hours a day, yeah.
Okay.
It was last week or 2 weeks ago, Schiffer and I went up to Furnace Parkway. Yannick came out, Mr. Parada came out, showed us all the, if you've been up there, if you haven't been up there recently, Furnace Parkway's on a downhill slide to Todd Roberts Field. And that bottom piece was just, when I stepped on, I just sunk in a couple inches. So all the water drains from Todd Roberts Field down through the houses into that median. It comes all the way down that median to right in front of the end of the parkway there at the, what is that, the west end?
Yes.
Yeah, the west end. There's a ditch. If you use my piece of paper, this is Yannick's property. There's a ditch that's about 10 feet in on Yannick's property that goes back to a DI, which is a drain pipe, which is another drain pipe goes over to another DI, and then that goes out in between the houses to 31. He said the town used to dig that ditch every couple of years, and I wasn't sure. I talked to Rusty, and Rusty goes, "Yeah, we used to dig it every 2 years." He goes, "But we haven't done it in a couple of years, and the ditch is filled in." So we talked to a bunch of people up there. They don't mind mowing the parkway. That's fine. They said, "We don't want you up here mowing the parkway. We'll take care of the parkway." So I talked to Yannick, and I said, "Look, we can't do this till June or July or August. We'll come in, since the town used to dig the ditch, we'll dig the ditch." I said, "But before we come in there, you're gonna sign a release your liability on the town." I go, "And we'll regrade your property and we'll throw grass seed down." And he was completely satisfied and happy with that. He said he'd have no problem doing his share of mowing the median. He had another question at the end of the road, some stones there, but we can just scrape that down a little bit and that would be good. So that should take care of Furnace Parkway. Keep that ditch dug every year or every 2 years.
John was complaining about the meridian there, that it was wet and couldn't mow it. Is the pipe low enough where it's going to drain there, or do
Yeah.
we have to drop the pipe?
No, I guess, I understand what you're saying. Way he explained it to me was when they repaved Furnace Parkway, Mike Fuller moved the pipe over to where the ditch is now. The ditch is there, it's just full. So when it comes out of the pipe, there's about this much open space full of water, and then it's all just filled in for however long it hasn't been.
Okay.
So I asked Dale about it. He goes, "No, I didn't know we were supposed to dig those ditches." And then I asked Rusty about it, and Rusty goes, "Yeah, it was sort of a headbutting contest when Dale took over, and Mike, whatever happened, they weren't dug." So I said, "Well, we need to do it as soon as it's dry enough." But Yannick's whole yard is actually everyone's yard there is soaked because the water's not draining.
Have you talked to Kathy? Because I don't know why I thought at one point I read something. I hesitate to use the word law, but I read something somewhere that says you're not supposed to use town equipment or town resources, employees, to work on private property. I'm just saying that we should check that out before we.
I asked Kathy about that, and she said it's not for him, it's for the neighborhood, it's for the town, it benefits.
I believe that
benefits the neighborhood.
when that ditch was put in years and years ago, they had to get waivers and everything to put the ditches down.
So Shelby put that ditch in to
We
begin with.
put that ditch in ourselves. I'm not sure if we did or Art Hill did, but the town was responsible for putting that ditch in, whether the town employees did it or Art Hill did it. For some reason, I think Art Hill did it.
Rusty told me the town contracted Art Hill to do it.
And then they seeded it, and then the town did the finish work on it and reseeded everything to make it work. and they signed off on it, so that, but I didn't know that there was a maintenance thing every so many years on it. That I never knew about, so.
So there's going to be a pipe there, so it
No.
doesn't have to be
No,
dug every year, or you're gonna,
It's already there.
Oh, we're
The
gonna do,
pipe is already
the
there.
pipe goes in like, I don't know, I'm not good, 6 feet
Yeah.
from the road into right along Pedro Vargas's property and John's property.
Yeah.
And then it just stops. So that's apparently where the water is settling.
Yeah.
Okay, in that kind of north.
Well, it's sitting there, but it's backed
Southeast
up
corner.
into the median. If you step on the median, you'll sink in about 4 inches. It's like
so
a
apparently
sponge.
the ditch needs to be dug deeper to the north, so the water will flow.
Into the next drain.
Right, but by digging a ditch, you're just gonna go in every 2 years and do it, as opposed to putting a pipe there, so you do it once.
I don't think that the
done?
ditch is deep enough to put a pipe in, Linda.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that the ditch is just a very
It's like a small hole in the
gradual
ground, yeah.
Okay,
ditch. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure about tiling it. I mean, maybe
I don't
Anthony
either.
has
I
to
just-
answer that more than I could because of the tiling of the thing, but I think that I think from what I remember, we just dug a small ditch, so it's water and they could still mow through it and stuff like that. Well, over the years, the grass grows in, it fills up, just like in your driveways or your lawn, the lawn builds up higher than your driveway eventually, and then it's gotta be cleaned or cut or something. Roadside's the same way, so.
yeah, okay.
So how much fall is it from the road to the pipe where it goes in now? Couple feet?
From the road to the back DI?
Yeah,
Or
to
the
where
ditch?
it goes in a pipe in the yard or in the back of the yard.
Oh, in the back of the yard. I don't know. There's a substantial drop. I don't know how many feet it is.
Enough fall, I would say put a pipe all the way to the road, perforated tile pipe or something, you ain't gotta worry about cleaning it out anymore. If it's perforated, the lawn will stay dry, it'll suck the water out of the lawn.
Well, we have enough piles of dirt back here that the state dropped off. That we
I think you
could
gotta find out how deep you gotta have it first.
Yeah.
I understand what that's saying,
Yeah.
but I think that that's something that they gotta shoot grades on, right, Ed? You gotta shoot a grade.
Yeah.
I mean, to find out if we can cover it, we don't want a lump in it, we want it so it's gonna be smooth. I think that's something that they
You wanna-
can,
give a Dale on that and
sure.
see if it's even possible. Yeah, because otherwise, every couple of years, we gotta go in and fix his lawn when we rip it apart. So a pipe would be an easier option, but if it's gonna cost a ton of money,
You're talking like perforated pipe, 4-inch pipe or something like that?
4 or 6,
Okay, so
depends what we can use.
whatever we can use. Okay, if we can do that.
garage door, building, leak detection, raw water, doing pressure tests. All right. Good. You got anything, Linda?
Yeah, a couple things. So what did you first say about the rural waters?
We're members of Rural Water,
Yeah,
and I told Dale to find out. I told him about 4 months ago, and it slipped his mind. Leak detection. There's companies that do leak detection on pipes,
okay,
and since we're members of Rural Water, he went and asked them, and they said, "Yeah, we'll do it for the town for free. That's part of your membership." So they're going to start working on the town June 17th,
okay,
going around hitting all the pipes.
okay. So in connection with that, I guess I was gonna ask this, so that actually works good. A couple meetings ago, we spoke about, the leaked water, and then is it flushed?
Flushing?
Flushing water, right, the 26 million gallons. So, and then Steve pointed out that it reminded me there was that big leak that went into the Orchard Creek that we fixed. So I think we should go back and look at, let's see what the water usage was for the last 4 quarters, so that we have something to compare it to. If he says he's fixing leaks, we have some history, some financial history to kind of look at. So what I think we should look at is what the village, by district I would do it, so we can see if we've made any progress in the districts. Water usage what we're charged by Medina, how much Medina claims we used, right? What we billed to the end user. You know what you flushed, right? Because you keep track of that.
We keep track of that.
Okay, so then the difference gives us what we've leaked. So,
Yeah, the majority of that was leaked water.
yeah, I understood, but and so we should kind of
Yeah.
keep track of that as we're going through this process of finding leaks. We'll be able to see.
I know when we fixed Oak Orchard, it was, what did Dale say it was? It was a big chunk of change we saved that quarter.
18 million or something.
18 million gallons just from Oak Orchard, so. But we'll get I'll have Beth pull the exact number.
I mean, that's what we don't really know because we don't really know how long it's been.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This will
Yeah.
kind of show us a trend. So
Yeah.
if we went back at least 4 quarters, and if we did it by district, then we'll be able to see which district is leaking or being corrected. And
Leaks, difference in,
so if we get what we
She wants to know the difference.
difference in what we paid.
Flushing.
And what we're paying now.
Yeah, what we're paying,
usage,
village.
how many
Difference in
thousand
usage.
gallons Medina is billing us for by district, what we billed out to the end user by district,
Yeah.
and then what we've flushed by district. And that'll
Then
help.
you'll know if
Then
you're
we'll be able to
leaking
look at
somewhere.
each district and see. And that'll also give us, if those numbers fluctuate over the years or quarters, you'll be able to tell if there's leaks somewhere because we kind of know where we should be standing. I'd imagine most people aren't changing their water usage drastically. Okay, do you have an update on where the state is with what's happening with the audit?
She's just still going another week, 2, I don't know.
Oh.
She's doing 21, 22, 23. She's going through everything.
So is this a new audit or a follow-up to the previous audit?
When she first came, she said it was a follow-up to 21. But she said since she's here, she's going to do 22 and 23. So she's working with Miranda. She had you doing some stuff too, Darlene, our accountant, Williamson, working with all those different things.
Okay. In the budget, can you, there's I think it's in 1A, right? So that's townwide. That's the general.
General.
Yeah, I believe it's general, right? Okay, that's where we put all the attorney expenses. But as I'm thinking about this, shouldn't those be broken out into departments?
You mean like we bill, like we pay?
Like highway should have some attorney bill, some attorney expense in their budget. General has some, because if you put it all in general, then the whole town is paying for things that may not be associated with the whole town.
I don't know the answer to that, but I will find out.
Okay. And maybe it's not. I'm just.
So each department
would carry
least,
some.
At least we could, if we can't do that, we can classify which department
used it.
Yeah.
But my concern is you're charging it to everybody, right? And
no, I understand what you're saying.
Like water, if we're incurring water fees or attorney fees for water, those legal bills are really getting charged to the Village of Medina residents, and they're not part of the water district. So I use that as an example because that's a pretty easy, right? There's separate categories for water. So I'm just wondering if we shouldn't, if we can, maybe we can't. I don't know.
Trying to segregate it.
Yeah, just
different departments.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say that
That's a good question.
just because it's always been done that way, I don't know if that's right or not. But I'm just I'm making sure that we're not charging things in funds that should be in other funds.
Okay.
Okay, then also in 1A, there's hospital and medical. And you might have said this in the other meetings, but I just don't remember hearing it. So there's $75,000. That's when I think there was some discussion on in the general fund for hospital and medical. What does that include?
I think that's the retirees
The retirees.
It is,
The retirees medical, we cover it. There's only you,
Fuller, Mike,
there's a couple that we have left.
Probably
None of the
Butch.
new employees will be.
so I would ask the same question about that. If it shouldn't, if we break out medical by department when we budget, right? So like the highway department has their own category for medical insurance. Would you not do the same for that?
I don't know that you can because
But I know what
Yeah.
department you retired from or he retired.
I know, but what I'm saying is I don't know if they can do that. That would be something you'd have to talk to Miranda on because going through, I'm just guessing because of going through whatever plans that are out there that we're using.
Oh, it's not about it's about where she charges it in here.
Oh, I
So
see.
she gets a bill, let's say it's $100,000, 20,000 goes here, 20 goes there. It's just her making an entry.
Mhm.
She would break it up when she puts it into Williamson. So I'd like
Separated by department?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just curious if we shouldn't be doing that because we clearly know what department somebody retired from.
Mhm.
And when they're here and active, they're charged in the department.
Have we had anyone retire from anything other than the highway department?
Jerry Zinkovich is one of them.
Jerry, she was the last one.
Yeah,
She was the last clerk.
Did she have,
Darlene should have been, but she wasn't.
did she have medical?
Yes.
Yeah.
By department. So, can medical bills for retirees be separated by department? Classes.
Okay, and then I would go to one DA. I have the same, there's $40,000 in one DA, which is outside the village, outside town.
DA is up the, yeah. No, no,
Still
it's not-
general, but it's outside.
It's, yeah, I think, is it DB, no, DB is townwide, isn't it? I don't know, I just gotta start to learn them. Which one's the townwide?
I get those two
It'd be up in
confused.
the front, I think, in the front of the, tell you.
I know one is just the town outside.
Outside the village and home.
Oh, DA, I'm sorry, it's highway townwide.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
highway,
that's everybody, okay.
highway townwide, okay.
DA.
There's 40,000 in there, that's just the MEOs. Is that correct?
I don't know what it's for. You're at,
Medical, would that be,
That would
if it's in the highway department,
Yeah,
that would
that's
just be,
medical.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm wondering if when we do workshops, if we can try to have an agenda in advance so that people know. Some people I look at the village's agenda and look at what they're doing before I decide if I want to go out there. If it's something that's, so maybe we could, maybe we could try to,
I only can post what I've got. I mean, I could
Yeah.
post it right now, but there's nothing on the agenda for next Tuesday night yet.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about
no,
the
workshop.
workshops
Oh, the
too. I'm
workshop.
just thinking it might be more beneficial to the public if they knew, if there's not much on the agenda, they might not want to come out, but they might want to come out at. And then the only other thing I want to go to is for so Scott, you and I have talked a little via email recently about board duties. Is there a resolution for that? I'm assuming it was voted on at some point.
It's okay.
I
We
don't
can't-
remember.
We can't find anything, so that's why I asked Kathy and Nick, and I asked Jeff Smith, and he said it was from, I think it was from whoever the supervisor was before him, and nobody remembers. So I said, well, if we're gonna do it, then we need to vote on it if we're gonna do it, make it a policy for the board. So,
Will that be on the agenda then
I can put it on for this Tuesday's agenda if you want. We can come up with a resolution for it.
or we should talk about
Right,
what
we should
should
discuss
be in
it.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we could do at the next workshop, we could plan on,
Well, you guys got the thing that was put out, right? You wanna
Email?
send me some suggestions on that?
okay.
Yeah, you wanna do that? We
Well,
can
I'm just,
Why
probably
you-
have it done for Tuesday if you want.
oh, I don't know.
It just affects us 5.
Yeah, but I think, well, personally, I think there's gonna be some back and forth as to what should or shouldn't be in there.
what don't you like?
Off the top of my head, I don't have it here, but there's a couple things that I think are a little restrictive, and I'm not sure that I
Now, those rules include the board also?
It's only for the board.
Yeah, those board duties
Right.
from before.
It's only for the
So
board.
I don't remember
Well,
exactly the way they're worded, but there's one in there that talks about putting requests in for writing to the board, requesting, I don't know,
That was that way when Jeff Smith was supervisor, he put in for that and the board went.
it might be, I just, as a board member, I don't agree with it. I think the purpose of the board is to be fiscally responsible for the finances of the town. And if you're that feels a little hand locking to me, that you, and I understand there's some reasons that you just don't want people willy-nilly walking in and constantly, but to have to put requests in writing to come in and look at documents, like, you know, personally, for example, for me, I don't get here till 6 o'clock. The meeting starts at 7. I can't possibly get through $100,000 worth of invoices to look at and understand in an hour. It's just not, maybe you guys can. I can't. The way I look at them, it just takes me longer to digest it. So there's going to be times and I don't know when those times are. You know, if I can coordinate with Darlene to make sure, I've been in a couple times, I don't think I'm in your way, but if I'm in your way, I mean, all you have to do is say to me, yeah, that's all you have to say to me. It's just isn't, but and there's some other ones you know, I just think they seem fairly
I guess you might as well make a list of what you think.
aggressive about some of them. I mean, I recognize there needs to be some understandings, but I think some of them are a bit restrictive.
You're just not used to aggressive people.
I've worked.
I mean, you know, I'm
with
just,
them. Steve, you really don't want to go there with me, because I've
well,
been
I'm just
around
saying,
the most
you know,
aggressive, and the state says that you're supposed to be in with oversight, and those rules seem to me like we are doing nothing but trying to prevent oversight.
well, I don't agree.
No,
with
that's just a note to the board, say, hey, I'm going to look at these records. Okay, that's fine. Nobody says you can't look at anything you want.
I don't know another person on another board that says that that's the way that it works.
I didn't make the policy.
And I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that sometimes you come up with something, and years later it might have made sense at the time, but maybe it doesn't make sense now. And personally, I think that maybe that policy needs to be addressed at least every 2 years when new board members come on, because people have different ideas of how they think things should run. You might like it like that, but the next board might not. Or you might like it, you want it looser and it's too tight. I just think there needs to be discussion on the policies put in place that restrict the board.
I don't have no problem with that. Write up what you want to write. I'm just saying, you know,
Well, we need to discuss that at a workshop, I think, if everybody's here.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be what any one person wants. The
Oh, we
whole
can
point is
discuss
to
it.
sit and
Discuss it at the
kick
board
the
meeting
ideas
next week.
around.
Bring it up. We can discuss it at the board meeting. Not a big deal. I'm open to it.
Okay, that's all I have.
Let's see. About an update on the inventory. Got anything yet? Or?
Yeah.
She's working on that. It's probably gonna be a little later than June. I just told her I wanted it done in June, but we just got the scanner in to scan everything in, and then when we got ready to start that,
Is that part
the
of
comptroller showed up. So
is that part of the year end? Is that inventory to reconcile your year end?
no, it's just a town inventory that we should.
So they don't require you.
No.
The state doesn't require you to reconcile your inventory for
No,
that.
no. It's just I knew I always had to do it for the government, and I said, well, why don't we have an updated inventory? We need to do it every year, and let's computerize it so we can just look at it and get the barcode scanner and just scan everything. So it's quick and easy and it's done. So we got the scanner in and we were all ready to start, and then the comptroller showed up, and everything stops while the comptroller's here. She gets what she wants when she wants.
That's an auditor.
Also, I was contacted by Jeff Tucson. He left a message with you. He wants to.
Yeah, he wants another.
Parks
yeah.
and Recreation. He wants 2 people on that liaison.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of 1.
I forgot that. Yes.
And you want to know if you can get somebody else. I think Linda's 1, so
Yes.
somebody else wants it.
Yeah, he left me a message. I gotta call him tomorrow.
You got his number? Or I got
Yeah,
it?
no, he left. It's on my phone. He left called the office here.
Maybe
That was
Steve wants to do
Parks and Recreation. Is that what that was? Yeah.
Yeah, Parks and Recreation.
Steve, you wanna do that with me?
Sure.
There you go.
All right, what else, Mr. Ed?
This isn't mine yet.
Has he been sending you emails when you have your meetings or whatever?
Oh, yeah,
He
they send
does,
them all.
yes.
all the
In fact,
time.
they're at the point where they're ready to vote on the budget, and I think that's Monday.
Well, if you can send me a text message or an
Yep,
email
I'll
on
send you-
date and time.
Well, they'll give you, I was on it for the last 2 years, so they get your contact information. They'll send
Yep.
emails all the time. So.
Okay.
I'll send something to him and copy you and let him know that they should
Okay.
forward everything to you.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Monday at 5.
I was wondering when Allied's gonna be coming in to present
He said he'd come in. I gotta email him, see
at
if
a
he
meeting.
see if he can come in. No, he's gonna come into the board meeting. So.
Yeah, running board meeting. Yeah. That'll be for 21 audit. No, 22 audit.
23 audit. 22 audit. Yeah,
22.
23 audits going on now.
Are they doing 23 also right away, right
Yeah,
now? Or?
yeah, that's what they're working on now. Yeah.
Allied.
Well, he was working on it. Now he's working with Comptroller. So, yeah, Allied's doing the 23, and the what did they change the name of that to? The
ARF.
ARF, yeah, and the ARF. ARF was submitted.
I'm sorry, I think it's
AFR.
AFR.
AFR, yeah, AFR.
So has that been filed for 2023?
Yeah, it's been filed, and we're updating the figures on it because now they think she used that Jen girl that screwed up our Williamson. Now they're thinking she used our 21 numbers on our 23. That's why everything's so screwed up. So when she entered all her stuff from, what's our old system, KPS,
Yes.
into Williamson, they think she used the 21 numbers and not the 22 numbers.
Okay, I just want to say, this is exactly why we should have our audit done by February of the 2 months later, because they would have caught that if we weren't getting our audit done a year and a half later. And we
No,
would
I
have-
agree.
They're required by the state.
And if,
Also.
and honestly, I still want to go back to, I think we talked at one of the meetings about getting bids from other auditors, didn't we?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
I'd like to try to reach out to a few and see if anybody would be interested in giving us a quote.
Okay. Yeah, I sent you guys all an email after that and said, hey, send me.
All right,
send me names, we'll include
I'll do some research and see if I can't find, I know there's a couple firms in Buffalo that I think do it.
Anything else, Ed?
No, I'm good. Oh, well, one thing. Are we gonna schedule another workshop here next month? Or?
Let's do that Tuesday when Schiffer's here. Make sure everyone's good with it. You guys good with us replacing the garage doors? That's just gonna save us gas money, heating the garage all winter.
That all comes out of the ARPA fund?
Yeah, that'll be ARPA funds. We got like 100 and, I just looked at it the other day, I don't remember, 118, 120 that we have to allocate before the end of December.
No,
We don't have to spend it, but we have to allocate it.
So I know there was some confusion that you put out the information a few months ago, but honestly, I just never saw it. Can you put that back out again?
What info?
The ARPA information of what we've spent so far?
Okay, yeah.
If you do it for Tuesdays, then I'll look at it before we go into the meeting. And how much was it to start with? Remember, roughly?
I don't know, you guys had it before I was here.
I don't remember.
Quarter
I'd have to go
of a
back.
million, was it a quarter of a million?
I was gonna
I
say,
think like 250 around
Yeah.
or somewhere.
yeah, I was gonna say 300,000.
Okay.
And the last we used was for the parking lot, right? Was that it, Ed? The last thing we voted on was the parking lot, I think?
We had the parking lot, then we used some for the generator system or
Oh, and
the
the
electric.
basketball,
We had,
the basketball.
when we get new computers and
Street
stuff.
lights. we
Street
should have
lights,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was before me, so.
So it
And
has
the
to be,
Williamson, that was bought with ARPA too.
right.
so
We have to allocate it. We don't have to spend it, but it has to be allocated, so.
allocated by the end of this year, spent by the end of next year?
26, yeah,
So it'd be
2026.
2 years to spend it, okay.
And they're making changes to it constantly, so I don't see the garage doors being a major expense, but that'll save us on gas bills heating that garage.
Are they gonna get bids for them garage doors?
Yeah, we'll have to get
Multiple
bids.
places?
I don't know how many places will come out here, but there's 1 or 2 local, I think.
Or
I
got
just told
sun-
Dale today to start getting bids. I walked him around and showed him, 'Cause Jeremy showed me the other day, he goes, look at that, and I hit it with my
I see,
access
yeah.
card and it went right through the door, oh crap.
Can you make
they're
sure,
rusted right. I can't believe how rusted they are.
can you make sure we try, when we try to get them before the meeting so we have a chance to look at them?
Okay.
The bids.
Oh yeah, as soon as they come in, I'll get them. Yeah, I doubt if it'll
Bill
be before Tuesday.
sometimes forgets to copy me.
He forgets to copy me all the time. I doubt if it'll be before Tuesday, but we can get it before next board meeting, so. Millville Cemetery, you're gonna talk to Dale about Millville and ditches.
I'm gonna talk to him about the ditches, I'm gonna talk to him about the flagpoles in Millville,
Oh, that's good.
and I will talk to him about the garage door bids, and make sure he can get the bids out with plenty of time for Linda.
Thank you.
As I wrote right here, get the bids out for Linda.
Thank you.
You got anything? Mr. Sykes?
No, I'm all set.
Actually, one other thing. I never like to do this at the village meeting because I don't want to put them on the spot. Marguerite, sorry.
Since when?
Sorry.
Since when don't you put us on the spot?
Has there been any moving on the water rates with the village?
No, actually, me and Jess need to set up another meeting. We waited for them to transition of power. I told them, take as much time as you need, so.
Okay.
Actually, I just talked to her the other day and she said we need to set something up, so it'll probably be this month.
And has there been any discussion about a rate yet? Are you going back and forth with rates and?
That's what we're getting down to now. We went through all the records and passed the contracts and all that. Now we're gonna discuss rates, so.
You only have 2 meetings though, right? Official meetings with Jeff and Diana?
Yeah, 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I'm just thinking if the sooner we at least get a rate, it might not be what you want long-term and you still may be moving to Royalton, that still might be a better situation, but it certainly makes sense to try to get a lower rate now. I mean, we're 2 quarters past now and we still aren't saving anybody any money.
Well, we're still gonna get rate increases for the next 2 years, so that's why we got 20 cents next year and then 20 cents in 2027. Even through Medina, we'll get those rates.
Right, but any drop in rate
Oh, yeah.
for Medina
Yeah.
at this point is still savings to people until
Well,
we get
especially it's gonna be
things.
saving the people in the village, or that's in the town of Shelby, but live in the village.
Right, I don't care, I'm not,
Your water rate,
I pay more than you guys do.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We
Yeah.
don't
rates.
have a rate for Medina to increase over the next 2 years.
You're getting the rate increase.
Right, we're getting rate.
Yeah, and
increase.
it'll-
We haven't said anything.
I'm sure it'll pass on to us too. The 20, you guys can't just absorb that.
But that hasn't been,
20 cents in 2025 and 20 cents in 2027.
right, but that hasn't been relayed to Shelby as of yet.
Oh, no, that's not, I'm just saying,
Assuming.
yeah, whatever rate you give us, and then I'm sure you guys can't eat that 40 cents per hour.
But whatever rate we give to Shelby, we have to give to our own people
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
any increase.
And that's from Niagara County Water.
Yeah, it's right from them.
Setting it.
Alrighty, wait, let's see, we got rural water 17. What else was there?
Is there any update on New York class at all, or?
We transferred the money a week and a half ago. I was just looking in last week, I think it's close to about $5,000 in interest in a week.
How much did we transfer?
3.9 million. We're keeping 50,000 in the computer account, which is payroll. So, and like today was the first day we transferred out for payroll, and it's a 1-day transfer, so that's pretty good. It doesn't cost us anything. So 1 week we made $5,000. That's more than we made in the last 5 years with Thompson's.
So you only kept 50,000 here, so as you pay bills, you'll pull money back from them?
We have the 50 grand in, it's called a computer account at Thompson, to pay whatever we have to pay, and if we need more, we just transfer it in from whatever fund needs it. But that's the emergency where we don't have to.
You said 5,000 in 1 week?
And who,
Yeah, it was, I don't know the exact figure, Ed, but it was, I'll have it for you guys on the board. I'll give you a sheet.
Who's listed as the person to make transactions with New York Class?
Miranda and I'm the approving official. He's an approving official if I'm not available. And
So is it a,
it's a two-person thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not one person, it can't be one person. So
So the whole
she
board-
she applies for it. I get an email, he gets an email, then I have to authenticate. It's a dual authenticate. It's a three-way login, a secure login then I have to log in.
but when she requests money to come out, one of you gets notified,
Yeah.
so that it's not,
We both get
We
notified.
both can
Yeah.
look.
okay.
I mean, he,
How about the whole board notified? I mean, not at the same time, but eventually, or within a few days, I'll have an email what you took it out for, so everybody knows.
it's just to pay the bills. That's the only reason we
Yeah.
take money out. I mean,
We'll see it.
yeah, you'll
well,
see.
that's
it.
it.
You'll see
So
it
that's
on the
my other
bills,
question,
yeah.
I guess. When we look at the bills before the meetings, again, this is gonna be hard to fit everything in. Can we see the bank reconciliations?
Yeah.
So that's how we'll see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's a double check to
Yeah.
just make sure that, it's just a second oversight.
The New York class will be included in the reconciliation then.
Well, I'll print out a year-to-date form on there. I get a screenshot year-to-date.
You must have an account set up
Yeah.
in Williamson for New York Class. So yes, there should be a reconciliation.
Actually, we got
on that
rid of
that says
all the
this is
bank
what you've
accounts.
given them.
So we only have, what do we have, 13 bank accounts? We got rid of them all. We got one bank account now, so. And all those 13, however many, I don't know exactly how many, we have in New York Class. I'll show you one of these days when you're around.
So
Everything we had in Thompson is now transferred the same way in New York Class.
and so do you have separate accounts for water? Does
Water's
each water district has?
There's one water account. All water districts go into one
And
water
then
account.
when she gets into Williamson, she is
Separate,
spreading it
yes,
out
okay,
in
separate.
entries saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I was looking back at the notes here for that meeting. Are we, FDIC insured only 250,000?
That's what Tompkins was.
Yeah, Tompkins, but
Yeah.
what about New York class? I don't know if I got it here or not. I ever
What
wrote
did,
it down.
I don't know, did we, you took notes like I did, I don't remember what.
Not fully guaranteed 100%.
We'll have to look in that. You
Yeah.
guys each got that thing I got, so we'll have to look in that.
I mean, it's making good interest, but you think it's wise to put everything we got into one? I don't know.
Well, we're benefiting off of like Clarence. Clarence has $100 million in there, so we're earning interest off of their.
Oh, yeah.
But they would get the interest that they earn.
Yeah, well, what it is they, was it
They
$14
paid-
billion right now? It's $14 billion, so whatever interest they make over, we'll say a month, New York class takes, was it 1.2%?
Well, yeah, no, it's 0.12.
0.12% is their cost of their program, so.
They're the ones
Yeah.
paying for most of it.
So if there's
Yeah.
if we made $100 million on the 14 billion, New York class takes 0.12%, and then we get our 5.21% today off of our 3.9 million. And
Right,
then-
so we aren't making any, it doesn't really matter to us what anybody else has. We're only making our 5.25 or 5.15 or
yeah,
whatever.
off of our
Off
3.9.
of our money.
Yeah,
We're not
off our
Yeah.
2.1 million.
But it's not costing us anything because the interest is where they're taking their money. So we don't pay.
You are paying, your
The
0.12% is coming off of the,
Right.
we would
Yeah.
normally earn 5,500, they're taking their 500 first and then giving you the rest. So we are paying for it,
Yeah.
it's just,
It's
But
coming off the interest, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
netting it out first before they give us the interest back.
Alrighty. Well, it was a good meeting.
Okay.
Let's call it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Oh, will we have an agenda?
Yeah, that, hopefully I'll be done with it. We can get that done. When are you leaving?
Because
Monday,
I don't
I
want
won't
to,
come
I don't want to
Monday.
risk a meeting.
You won't be in Monday?
I will not, I'll be in Lake George.
No, because it's not it's a workshop. We don't have to do one. I was always doing one when they said, no, you don't, because it's not a. Okay? You're not gonna be here for the board meeting?
No.
You're not gonna be here for the board meeting? Woo-hoo, beer and pizza for everyone. Why are you limping now? Darlene. Oh. Hey, you want this off? You want this off? Okay.
Bye, John.